Welcome to Cultris 2, the fastest block puzzle game in existence, and also it's free. So you should check it out right now, and I'm giving some tips to how to play this game. I'm Extruder, and I have some friends with
And
me.
I'm Dula.
Yeah,
I'm Eldeslav.
yeah, that's cool. So
Yeah, I'm Dula. Hello.
I'm currently going to create a room right now. This game is good in that sense. You can create your own room, as you have seen it done by me. So this is a role-playing game in which you take a role of a unicorn. So you play as a unicorn who sits on the top of a bathroom stall, and he has to defecate the various pieces into his playfield. And whether you clear lines you actually send the poop to your enemy, and your task is to make it flood. And so oh, I can't do this. And so it floods.
Oh, you're doing fine.
And just the unicorn swims out of the playfield successfully. So right, I have to tell you how to play this game. So now I'm going to add all other slots here, and we're going to play a really slow game for introducing you to the mechanics. So I need to actually assign one slot, this one. So alright, we can start now. Yeah, around this. So here we are. This is our user interface. So this is, as usual, block puzzle game, and you have the standard keys, like you can rotate your piece left and right, you can move it in both directions, you also can drop it by pressing your spacebar or maybe some other key, and you can also soft drop, which is useful to make your piece getting under overhangs and fixing various mistakes you have made. So when you clear lines made out of your own poop, you send the lines of poop colored by, well, different color just because you have pooped it. That's terrible. And your task is to drown every other player in your poop. So that's why Cultris 2 is a family-friendly game, just like Diablo 3 is. So the basics are you must concentrate your aspects, both attacks and defense. So you must not only clear lines, but, well, I guess attack. So your main method of attacking is by using combos. Combos are managed by clearing lines consecutively.
And look how fast Eldeslav is going.
Sorry.
Alright, sorry, we have got one Korean player here. He does not understand what slow is, but regardless, it's just that we have got every pro unicorn player here, and so I have to explain you what a stack is. The stack is your initial pile of pieces that you begin to complete at the beginning of your round. So basically, when you start a round, you want to make a good stack in order to get a good combo out of it and to send more lines to your enemy. Alright, I got drowned. So,
I love how you're describing this game.
yeah, you can also add your thoughts and whatever.
Oh no,
I'm just
no.
not experienced with things like making tutorials. But well, I'll make a better one the next week, I promise. So, well,
Oh, I wanna die. I'm playing fast now.
just hold your breath once you're near the top.
I fainted.
Alright, nice.
He's impressed by your speed.
Alright, so you're not so lazy this time. Alright, I have to illustrate you that you have two methods of sending lines and knocking out your enemies. The one method is by scoring large line clears. When you are scoring a double or a triple, you send 1 and 2 line respectively. So that's, as you can see, isn't a very good attacking method. That's because this game is focused on combos, and the combos are what the majority of this game is. So, when you start clearing lines, your combo meter fills up, and that measures your time. The time is a valuable resource in this game. In a sense, if you get a large line clear first, you will get more time for completing your next line clears. And every time you drop a piece into your field, your combo timer reduces. So that means if you're dropping too much pieces, your combo timer will be shorter each time. And that means you, at least at the initial level of your play, you have to, well, manage your pieces carefully. So other mistakes can occur. You also
the sound effect is... Sorry?
You also have to play defensively. That means after your initial stack, you will have to, well, deal with the lines of poop that other enemies have sent to you. That means you have to find the holes for them, because the poop isn't 100% liquid. Perfect. That means you will have to reduce that amount and to send them back to your enemy. So that means if your enemy didn't get a strong attack on you, you can just reflect it at your enemy. And that's why if you're attacking first, you should get for larger combos like 9 or 10, though it will be harder the first stages of play. So that's why here I'm not trying to make a second stack, but rather I'm trying to get rid of garbage that is piling up my field. Right now I'm playing defensively, and I'm not really trying to go fast, just because if I screw up at this point, it'll be a death for me. Yeah, this is an English version.
141. Yeah, you can tell them about the combo... sorry. Alright, the number at the bottom shows how fast you are going.
Yeah.
For example, Extruder went 141 earlier.
Yeah,
Which is about...
This is your blocks per minute counter. So if you drop one block or two, it isn't gonna change, but it shows your speed at the current moment. And that's I'm going currently around 60 blocks per minute, which means 1 block per second. And each block is one of these neon pieces that are currently in the next queue. I would like to say that the orange player in this game is capable of going around 120 BPM, but the fastest players are able to go over 200 BPM, and that's around 3 pieces per second.
3.3 actually.
I want to say that people should not really get preoccupied with speed on your early game and your earlier experience, just because you will make many mistakes while trying to go fast and you will screw up your playstyle. You want to learn how to downstack first. The downstacking is the process of reducing garbage and playing defensively. That means you have to read the garbage. That means I see this hole, I put the next, but I should try not to stack over the next one. As you can see here, I put the eyepiece just over this hole, and this is generally
Ukraine?
yeah. So this is
maybe Taylor can join the call.
yeah. Alright, so as I have shown, this is a common mistake, and you should try, when you're nearly at the top, you should try to put your eyepieces horizontally instead of vertically, because otherwise you may easily cut your chances to survival. Alright, so we have got another unicorn to our team.
Luffy one at it.
Alright, I wanna...
Hi.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Alright, so what is your favorite color?
Mine?
Yes,
Yeah.
your favorite color.
You know, black is always handy.
That's cool. You are a bit too quiet for us to hear.
Wait. Better?
Yeah, better.
I died now. It's your
Yes,
fault.
you did.
Alright, so we're making a tutorial, well, sort of. And
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
I'm
Yeah.
currently showing
Yeah,
you
can hear.
that the stack which you make at the beginning of your play must be really solid, and
My
At
stack
least
is
the-
always solid.
yeah, at least at first, in the beginning of your match, if you want to get a good combo at the start, you should try and make your stack always solid. And
Look at my stack. If you didn't talk to me, I wouldn't die. Like, look, isn't that solid?
yeah, so this is a good
Sorry.
example.
Of what not to do.
What are
Good
you
job.
doing, Ole?
Miss Ole.
Ole, you suck.
Alright, so we are playing slowly in this round just because we do not have to scare
Oh, yeah.
the new
I-
players with the amounts of diarrhea our unicorns are pooping.
I forgot. I played fast. I'm sorry.
Oh, don't mind. Just that you can see every piece placement in real time. So this piece that is at the bottom of, well, the main floating piece is called a ghost piece. It is used as a guidance for you to drop a piece and play faster. So when you are playing, you might want to get your eyes just between your ghost piece and your next piece, so that you will have an information of two pieces. in
Or you
current
can play
position.
on intuition. It
Yeah.
also works.
If you're like caffeine, caffeine's got his caffeine challenge thingy.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I think we need speed limits now. So just that this room is popular, there's so many unicorns here. I want to say that you are able to customize what room is yours.
Man, I thought I was playing fast. I played under 100.
Yeah, I will set a limit at 150. That
Yeah.
is an average
That's a
for
lot.
cultures. Well,
120.
20. Should
120.
that suffice?
Alright.
Right.
Maybe 80.
No. Alright, so get into the second unicorn, guys.
I saw the second unicorn.
Hello.
Oh, so I can...
Hello.
So if you want to make your room open to everyone, you can click on auto join players, so you don't have to assign slots to every player. And everyone is free to join your room.
How about if you want to make it private?
Alright, and I also clicked auto start rounds. That means after the round is completed, we have got around 10 seconds or so, and the machine automatically starts the new round. So you see the speed limit mode. That means if you're playing too fast, the program will begin to cut off your playfield, so that you will have less room to survive. This is... Oh, okay. As you can see, this will help you to protect against the players who are too fast and they don't know much else. While more experienced players, they may get a really good placement and defeat you anyway, but you at least will get more experience placing your pieces in that way, and you will not just get stomped. While speed is an important aspect of this game, and if you have seen any one versus one decent match, you will have to note that most of people are pushing around 160 BPM or more. That means they can get a really powerful combos like 9 and 10, so that they send more lines and they kill their enemies really fast.
Like 9 and 10.
Yeah, so if you place several pieces after your speed gets higher than 120, as I have picked, your playfield reduces by 1 height.
Oh yeah, it was 120. I thought it was 150. I forgot.
Yeah, that's the reason I topped out as well. Alright, so I'd like to note that both of these players are capable of playing way faster. They are really experienced, like Twiller is rank 9,
I'm gonna
Oh
die.
damn.
Overslav is still top 100 in free-for-all. And you see
Wow.
that
Ole, what was that?
Slav is trained a limbo tactic.
I wanted him to win, yeah.
Alright,
Oh,
so
sure.
as you can see, the next game is started automatically, and here are some shortcuts. You can press F2 in order to start the next round when this one is ended. You can press F8 in order to show your FPS, which usually shows 120 when you play and 60 when you die. Alright, so the importance of having a nice stack is high. As you can see, I can't play slow, but the other people can, so that's why they are more pro this game. They really are, so don't get too scared over the people who are playing too fast and free for all. That's just their opportunity to make more mistakes. Just keep that in mind. And if you're playing slowly but you're making less mistakes, like you're not blocking your garbage holes, then you can win a few of your free-for-all matches against the players of similar skill level. But at first I recommend you creating your own room with a speed limit that you're convenient with.
There
Alright,
is
so
already a rookie room too.
I'm going to distract a bit. So here is the stats tab. It shows the score, and if it's a free-for-all room like this one, that means the first place gets more score than the second place, and so on. BPM is your speed, which means block per minute, and I have described this earlier. Combo means your maximum combo reached in this match. Send means the amount of lines you're sending to your enemies, all of them, not only the single one. So that means once you send lines, you send them to everyone. Every single one in the room. If it's a
Wow.
free-for-all room. Alright, so I'm getting close. But here I'm making relatively good placements. I tried not to block my hardest choice here. And I'm going really careful. Note that I'm not even really looking at my enemy's field, just cause I'm using the stats tab right now. But you really should look at your opponent's field once you get more experience. So that's why I lost. We see...
Honestly, you won.
You won.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. So, nice combo from Elderslav. That means the 10 combo is a godlike. So, we use some sounds from the classic arena shooters like Quake and Unreal Tournament. That means you are notified with an impressive if you get 5, like now. 7 if you... That means you get a perfect, and 10 stands for godlike combo. You also get an achievement whenever you... well, when you get the 10 combo for the first time. As you're a unicorn, you must get stars. The stars are your achievements. So, the more stars you get, the more experienced unicorn you are. And you can also compare your stars with your enemy's stars.
I have an stars. I'm a good unicorn.
Please say that again, louder.
I'm a good unicorn. I have lots of stars.
Yeah, that's nice. Alright.
Do you?
Apparently I haven't played 10,000 matches yet.
Alright, this game is such you just must brag with your achievements. We will be really glad to hear about your achievements. While you're an experienced player, you will not get just as much achievements, but if you're a new player, you will get much of them. So that's an example of a remotely good starting combo, and I'm following with preparation for the down stacking, just because Layla is sending too much lines now. I see that, and I don't think I should restack for a second combo. So I can get my combos from garbage as well. These down stack combos are just as strong as your stack combos in the beginning of the round. I want also to say just that if you are starting your combo with a large piece clear, like an eye piece, and you clear 3 or 4 lines in a row, you will get more time on your combo counter. So, if you're initially starting a combo within 4 lines or 3 lines, you'll get more combo time to get your lesser line clears to add up and to get a higher combo like 9 or 10. While I was playing for the first time, my best combos were around 6, 7, well, it wasn't really that good, but hey, if you are doing these combos consistently and if you are uncovering every garbage hole in your way, that means you'll be able to keep your own against even stronger players. And that means you should block their lines. This is the block counter in the stats tab. The blocking is really important aspect of the game as well. So, let me demonstrate it for you. I will make a short stack, but I will not attack. I will wait until somebody attacks and then... Okay, my stack is screwed up a little bit. So this thunder sound, like you see, is a sound of lines being sent to you. And if you're not doing anything about it, you're about to get them at you and at your field. So you must block them. If you are making your combo at the same time as you're receiving lines, you will get less pending lines. Bad demonstration. But well, it's a good example on, well, who's receiving lines right now. I think Layla is. So now we see the pending lines counter, and when it hits large numbers like, well, 3 or 4 or 5, you should stop trying to stack and you should clear these lines. Just otherwise you will receive too much. You see that Layla, by comboing, she tries to reduce the amount of pending lines she gets. So that's called blocking. Well, usually it's a good tip when you hear the thunder sound or many thunder sounds, that means you're getting lines and you should block them if you're getting too many. But sometimes you can accept the garbage, just wait a little bit and then counterattack by attacking later. And that means when you don't block your lines, you will send them to enemy. And when you block your lines, the enemy doesn't receive anything from your combo. So you either pick offensive or defensive approach to your combos. Alright, so as you can see, this is another, well, major mistake from the newer players, and that's dependence on the IPs, which is common from players coming from different block puzzle games. And well, the randomizer in this game is a little bit harsh. It's based on history. That means the next piece is dependent on the one that you got earlier. And if you got an I piece earlier on, that means you get less chance to receive another one. And that means you're more likely to receive different pieces over your playthrough. So that means if you're making a large hole, only 1 or 2 pieces are able to fit into. That means you're really taking your chance. You're pushing the limits of your luck. And so I advise you to make at least 2 wide holes. And when you're making a 2 wide hole, 6 out of 7 pieces are able to fit into it and to clear lines, which means you manage to get even the bad placements in your favor. So this is an example of a really good initial stack. It's bad to put the high piece in here just because the snake piece is so bad. But it's still a good combo while I'm not getting higher than 120 speed. So after this combo, I didn't receive any lines just because I blocked everything from Layla and other dangerous opponents. So that means I can attack later with my own second stack combo. I mean, I can upstack for more and some advanced spin. You can learn this later.
I would also like to add that as time goes on, the line send will get increased. So let's say for
I
10
have told already about time.
Oh, alright.
As you can see, even if your playfield is getting eaten by the room, you can still, well, try and win.
Should we do some cheese later?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we can show off the other game modes.
Alright, so you should try that your initial stack is flat. Or at least it's not too bumpy. Just because you will have trouble with putting your later pieces on. I'm making a T-spin here, which managed to, well, keep it a bit stackier. but that doesn't help much just because my stack was really rough at the beginning, and that's why I lost. So you should try to make flat stack at the beginning, and it shouldn't be too bumpy. But if you're making it too flat, you'll have trouble with putting pieces like S and Z, which are called the snakes. And these pieces are usually the hardest to deal with. What's your experience with unlucky pieces?
I try to
Well,
avoid-
usually,
Yeah. I try to not play them. I try to like look at my preview, so if I see them coming, I try to adjust my field so that I don't get it. I don't get a bad field before that.
I rarely ever get unlucky piece sequence, mainly because of my playstyle. I try to adapt everything to each piece, so that every time I have a clean field, every single piece will be able to fit to it.
Oh, and as the match progresses, the one important thing is that the later the match is, well, the more time it takes, the more lines you send to your enemy. So your attacks become stronger near the end.
And your
And-
pieces drop down faster.
Yeah. So for the more experienced player, it isn't really as important. But for the new player, it can really, well, screw things up just because he isn't used to pieces suddenly falling down twice as fast. In this game, you have to plan ahead, just because I cannot push the limits of my speed to downstack and to get rid of, well, the bad placements I have done earlier. So yeah, when I was beginning to play, I was playing around, well, the same, just not as higher combos. And the last column in the stats is SPM, which means cent per minute, which is usually a good attacking measure, while blocking is a defensive measure of your qualities. So that means if you have high SPM in a round, that means you're usually a good attacking player, while if you have good blocking stats, that means you're a good defensive player.
If you win, it means you're a good player.
Yeah. You should, in ideal, master both of these aspects to get into the higher ranks. Just because you're good at attacking, if you miss drop, you will have trouble at fixing your stack. So you should be able to play defensively. So the blocked counter means that to the right is the number of lines you have received in this match at all, and to the left is the number that you have blocked in this match. So you can even, well, count some percentage out of it. So in the past match, here are the stats for the past match. Elder Slug has blocked around, well, 60% of lines, which is a really nice blocking counter. So that means he was the most defensive player in that round. But he's also a good one. The really good players, unlike me, they are able to hold their own even if they have speed limits. That's just because they're used to optimum placements each time. So that means it'll be more interesting for you to fight them, while you will not get stumped with 180 BPM beasts early on in your career. So the speed limit is a recommended mode for you. So alright, I think we are finished with the free-for-all. I think we can move to the second basic play mode, which is cheese. And that's also the new player friendly mode.
Taylor left.
Is she still here?
No.
Alright, so we will not do speed limit. Oh, or maybe we should do 150. So that will make sense, because we want people not go fast in cheese, but rather go thinking about each move they do. Really, you should try to decrease your cheese with as least amount of blocks you have. Just because if you stack too much, you will have more lines to get through. And the task of cheese mode is to get to the bottom first. So it's a race mode and sort of the puzzle mode.
If you play fast enough, the cheese goes down faster and the green brings down slower than you, so you can play as fast as you want.
Yeah, so that means if you're lucky with your initial position and you have not done any mistake like blocking or garbage holes, then you can win even against experienced cheese players like, I don't know, well,
Okay.
most of these we're playing with right now. If you're luckier than them, maybe they made a mistake and so they should downstack through larger amount of lines. So that means if you're playing incorrectly like me right now, just to illustrate the aspect, that means you will have to get through the larger amount of lines, and that will slow you down severely. So the technique is superior to the speed in this case once again. Alright, so in this stats column, the cents per minute is replaced by eaten, which means how much lines have you eaten during the previous match. And you have got cheese lines, which are in yellow. The green means that your enemy has already cleared these lines before you. So that means you usually wanna keep track of how fast your enemies go. And
But
yeah. Alright, so matches in cheese, they are commonly quite close. And sometimes, if you're clearing cheese at the same time, that means you both can be winners.
but there's only one real winner.
Yeah, and it's written in the room chat. Alright, so do you have anything to say about the cheese mode and its benefits for learning downstacking aspects?
Well, I have not looked much, so I'll let Others answer the question.
Alright, so he's the most experienced one at the cheese in this room.
Maybe.
Yes, I would say so. Look at how much it's winning.
Well, the speed limit in this room, it has one unique detail. That means you can really, well, put some pieces faster than your speed limit and your playfield will only cut and you will not receive new lines against your enemies. So the number of lines is constant and only you influence it. So the main task is to get to the bottom first, and that means you can speed up if you are playing with the cheese with speed limit. But I recommend you to play cheese without speed limit. Even though the more experienced players, if they got easy patterns, everybody has got the same holes in their cheese, and everybody's got also the same piece queue. That means they receive completely the same pieces, just that they use them differently.
Oh no.
So that means they get exactly the same amount of, I'd say, eyepieces as you do. Just that if some of them play faster, they might get more of them. But if they play faster and they don't clear the game yet, they're
It's worth.
likely doing wrong. So that's also a common tactic seen from Twiller here. It's that when you see that you have only one garbage hole at the bottom, that means you should really throw away all of your, well, bad pieces to the left and to the right of this garbage hole, and then you will get the one you want, or you will not, and you will get top tired.
Oh, so close. Oh.
I won for the first time.
Alright, nice.
The idea behind the spamming is if you have one piece left, it's better off trying to get the same piece rather than trying to get two pieces while you're spamming.
Alright. So as you can see, even though I won only the two first rounds, I have still got some score just because I received score from every match. Even if I'm getting the third place, as long as you're not getting the last place, you still get a score. And the score is being calculated by how much you are in the room. Well, not exactly, just like you get more score for winning, but the people drop in and drop out on a whim. And that means you can end up with a score that's more than everybody else in the room. Though that isn't exactly important. But you get an achievement for a 500 score in one room, so if you're going for 50 stars, so take care.
Oh, so close.
Alright, so 3 more games and we are going to show you the free-for-all on full speed. To show the intermediate level of play. So, after you have got familiar with these two game modes at first, you might want to try the free-for-all. This is currently the only rating mode in the game, so that means it's the only mode you get ranked. So you can right-click at your account or anybody else's playfield and you will see their rank. That means their rank in free-for-all mode. It's calculated by Elo system, just like in chess.
Except you pay a lot more than chess.
Alright, so we're moving to free-for-all, sorry.
Jeez.
Alright, so usually the free-for-all is the most, well, crowded room, and sometimes at the good days it can even reach up to 25 players and more. And it will not lag the server, but it might lag your personal computer. So if the players are more than 10, then you should really consider getting a higher quality rig to play this game just cause it's cool. Alright, so you can see the ranks of everyone in this room, and here's the free-for-all mode. That means you are attacking everyone with your combos and you're receiving lines from everyone. But the lines are divided, so that means if you send around 10 lines in your initial combo, that means only like one line for each player. And that's not much. But everyone is attacking at the same time, especially first. So these lines add up and you will have to defend against them. You can use either blocking or downstacking to deal with them.
Hold on.
you should be a really fast player to execute blocking at least as fast as your enemies are. So I would recommend you to stay slow at the first if you want to survive and not get higher than the last place. You will still get points for that as long as you are around higher rank than somebody. No, lower rank. If you're lower rank than somebody else, that means if you beat him, if you have a higher standing in this room, you will receive rating from him. And so, if the players mess up their stacks, which happens quite frequently, that means usually some free rating for you, especially when you're playing free-for-all for the first time. And also a warning for the seasoned players, your rank will not stay exactly the same when you're not playing the game for a long time, just because it will be dropping some elo points. So that means if you want to get a good rank, you should, not really play like the best in this room. It's impossible for the early, game study. But later on, if you're consistently playing like at least 10 to 20 minutes each day, you will notice that your rank has increased significantly just because you're playing more than anybody else does. Well, the players below your rank, I guess. Alright, so the free-for-all room is the one in which you have to get your stack good. If you're messing your stack, you usually die. That means some clacking keys here. Well, that means if you're not getting high combo, that's real bad. I mean that, to withstand everyone is building their stacks at the beginning of the match just because they're not punished for doing so. But later on, you might want to downstack the lines you get from your enemies. And you should really not attempt to go fast for that, but instead you should pick careful placement. Careful placements, and I'm pretty sure that's all. And see you in free-for-all room and everybody else's rooms. So don't be afraid to write in the lobby. We have a really friendly and laid-back community, so we will answer any of your questions which will arise early on. So this will be enough for your usual improvement. So have fun collecting stars, climbing up your ranks. I'm pretty sure that you will get in top 10 in a week if you're playing good enough. So keep trying, and most importantly, have fun. And you should ask me the questions what I should feature in my next tutorial, which will be a bit more formal one. So I'll answer your wishes in the next video. So the last playthrough for today. Just don't be afraid by all that. I make really much mistakes despite my speed, and that only means I set more lines and I get more aggro from them. So I'm pretty sure that's all. And in options you can actually customize your piece color. Your starter color is rainbow, but later on you might want to get a monochrome, which maybe feels easier on your eyes. And don't forget, the game is completely free, so try it on Untitled.net. Thanks for watching. And goodbye.